Okay, it is 5:30 on Monday, July 25th, so I'll call the meeting of the Ayer Board of Health to order. And public input, I don't see anybody for that. Jane, you did send the request out, the certified letter to
Yes,
the
I
people
did.
from Walk and Roll, and told them to be here at what time, Jane? Did it, was it
Well,
5:30?
5:30, I believe. The letter should be in the correspondence file. Or it's in the,
In this packet?
No, I know it's here. I
it's
just
in the
wanted.
mail. It's in the
It's
mail.
in the
It's in the
mail
red.
file.
I think it's either in the mail or in the
That's
BO.
all right.
Or in a BOH.
I don't
file.
like it when people don't show up.
There it is. And
No,
got-
we did put 5:45.
Okay.
I think
Oh,
we
okay,
wanted
okay.
to make sure
Okay.
in case there was any public input. So perhaps we could skip to, Bridget just had one more thing, I think, today for, and it was just the inspection over at Shaker Hills.
Oh, okay.
So that
Okay.
was,
And that was fine.
yeah, I mean, that was minuscule.
Okay.
So, while we're discussing, before we get, we have Walk and Roll here, what I did bring up to Bridget today, in about 5 years ago, I think, we had a couple of problem properties, in that we kept getting calls from the police all the time. Kids were breaking in. One of them, the gentleman had died. We knew who some of the extended family was. We'd call, we'd say, I secured it, you've got to secure it. Well, long story short, the kids, not only were they partying, drinking, drugging, everything else, throwing trash there, and things you don't want sitting on your lawn, let me put it that way, and be kind about it.
Yeah.
So we were talking and we started having some meetings, and I reminded Robert, and he said, he found all his notes about that. So we were trying to think of what we could do. And especially you worry once the winter comes too, people get in there, you could set a place on fire.
Yeah.
So I discussed it with Bridget, and she said that things seem to be a little better today in that when houses are vacant,
Yeah.
that the bank is hiring one company, it seems, to oversee everything. She knows who that is, she's worked with them, so she said, why don't we just hold off on doing anything?
Okay.
Meantime, if we see a place that's vacant
Yeah.
and nobody is around, the grass is, up to the windowsills and everything, to kind of, and I let her know one property today, that she'll look it up and see what happens, because, sometimes people just sort of move out in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll go on that, because
Okay.
she certainly knows. And so that was pretty much on that.
Okay.
And minutes,
Yeah, I gotta look. I get up the minutes. Okay, yep, that was right. Back. Yeah, I think that I just wanted to take another look at the 41 East Main discussion to see, and I think that's right.
Hmm. She asked me to look at them, and I remembered what I had talked about.
Yeah, and that was the deal, that I was gonna speak with Superintendent Watson,
Yeah.
and I did. Okay, then I don't see anything with it unless, Patricia has anything. I would move that we approve
Second.
said minutes.
Okay. The motion was made and seconded to approve the minutes of July 11th. Any further discussion? No? All in favor, say aye.
Aye. There you go.
Okay. This is just something that now the town accountant wants everybody to just sign. This is her salary, her hourly thing. It's just something new they've started, and that's fine.
Sure.
Makes it easier, so it's nothing we have to vote on because it's a contract signed.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
You can give that back to Jane and she'll put the minutes in. Okay, moving right along. Pam, maybe you could update us with any discussion you had with regards to 41 East Main Street, which there seems to be with, shall I say, the proponent, a little misunderstanding, shall we say,
Yeah.
on his part, and he seems to
I
be,
think
we're
so.
having a public hearing on August 8th, which we, of course, we're not.
Yeah,
Jane will be on vacation. I've already let Bridget know that we're going to refer anything to the Neshoba Board of Health.
Okay.
So that's fine with her.
Germany, right?
Yeah,
So-
Awesome.
no baby yet.
Okay, so what I did was a couple of things. I took another closer look at the letter or, document that we had received from David Ross and Associates. Took a look at our aquifer district for, that impervious surface discussion, and also called Mark, as I had said I would do.
I knew you'd bring all that, so I didn't.
Yeah, I know.
bring my
I've got everything.
I didn't bring my folder on that tonight because I trusted you.
If you need anything related to this, I
No, I knew you were
Oh
going to do
my
this.
gosh. So what I found was, I began with Mark by asking, just by the nature of when he said preliminary comments, should we assume that there are further comments to come? And he said, no, not necessarily at this time, but he does need the additional information that he had requested in these two. So one is, on this number one, DPW has requests that the proposer describe how the mass stormwater management standards will be met. And discussion regarding effects on groundwater quality should be included. And the second was, we talked about the existing broken pavement and what exactly is going to happen there. I think this is just my own opinion at this point, may want to include some kind of condition perhaps in the special permit when we get to that point, that existing broken pavement remain as is and not be paved over, because at some future point, because that is really going to jack up the amount of impervious surface. So I dug a little bit deeper and found
I
that...
had faith that you would.
Yeah. This is a nice geeky project for me. So
you like this,
I
I'm glad.
found that the deal was, there is it's quite long and the print is quite small. I found the Massachusetts Stormwater Handbook section on stormwater management standards. And I actually emailed this document to Mark Seda and put that with an email just saying that, and I don't know if Jane gave you a copy of this, because I did, of course, copy Mark Wetzel because I discussed him, and I also copied Board of Health, said that I had spoken to Mark. He clarified the preliminary comments, and then I just kind of reiterated that, this is what DPW is requesting of you, and suggested that he speak with DPW directly to make sure that he understands it. And my main point was this sentence: because aquifer protection and stormwater runoff / infiltration are closely related, I suspect that the Board of Health will require the same information. And that's because in our aquifer protection district regulation, we talk about impacts on groundwater for any remedies that are going to be implemented in order to, sort of mitigate this greater than 15% impervious surface. So we're driving at needing the same things. And what the Mass Stormwater Management Standards talk about is, if you are doing a new build, you have to reduce the total suspended solids in your runoff, in your stormwater. You have to get rid of 80% of them. If you are doing a modification to an existing project, which Mark Wetzel thought that this might fall under that category, you
I
have
disagree with
to,
him on that. That's
well,
a
on the
whole
grounds that
big-
it's already non-conforming, and we can argue whether
Yeah.
that's here or there.
Yeah,
What the stormwater standards say in that case is that you have to do it to the greatest extent practicable. So it's not this 80% take it or leave it. It's greatest extent practicable. So
this isn't modifying, Pam, in my opinion, an existing spot. This is
Yeah.
taking a property that has 1 3-family home and putting two 2-unit condos on there.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
not slight modification.
In that respect, yeah, you're right. You're right. It's not a modification of structures that are already there. That's for sure. I think the only thing that might be a modification is that I think the 15% might be pre-existing. I'm not sure that the current property and everything that's there meets 15% if we figure in what area is paved and all, but I'm not positive. So,
And that's been there since before we had the aquifer
Oh, it's-
protection
yeah.
district.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it
It's
goes
been there a
back to
long time.
long,
Right.
Probably pre-zoning.
So the key is, though, that this, in DPW's statement number 1, they really mirror the exact same statement that's in our regulation, and that is that there has to be a discussion regarding effects to groundwater quality. That's not in any of these documents. The broken pavement is an issue. how we're going to handle that and getting some agreement that that has to remain impervious. And then the other item in this DPW comment number 2 is they have requested that Mr. Seda provide information regarding effects of groundwater recharge quality and compliance with the standards, which then leads you into like a stormwater maintenance plan. So it's fine to put in dry wells if you don't have some kind of plan that you're going to periodically inspect them and make sure that they're not just all full of crud and, things that then render them, ineffective. So those are that's the information that's still outstanding as far as DPW is concerned. Through talking to Mark, I became quite convinced, and by looking at our regulation, that we're really looking for the same thing. And that's what drove me to suggest that perhaps we consider, if it works for everyone, having a discussion here where Mark Wetzel can be present, or his engineer, and Mr. Seda and the board, so that we are all clear on what's needed. Where I think that we're deficient at this point is, and I don't know if Mr. Seda is going to come tonight, I know he's not on the agenda, but we have actually still not received what I've requested of him, and that's that he step through this regulation and tell us how it complies or doesn't comply.
When I walked through the door, there was a young woman sitting here tonight. So she came in and Jennifer, and she was representing him. I told her that if we discussed this, it was only going to be very briefly.
Yeah.
And she said, well, he planned on the public hearing soon. I said, not going to happen, and it's certainly not going to happen at our next meeting because our administrative assistant is going to be away. We have many things that need to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, your gentleman has changed his plan several times. I said, when he first came to us, he showed us one plan, but then he took it back, so we didn't get to keep it. He showed up again. I said he had some conversations, and I saw an email with the former chair of the planning board. He has not gone before the current planning board. He has not talked, and I said, I don't get involved in planning board business. If it was something up in my area, I needed to. Same with zoning. I don't get involved in it unless it pertains to me.
Right.
I believe he may need to see all those boards. So for him to think
I think that's possible.
that we're going to have a public hearing, and I said, I'll tell you, Jennifer, when we asked him, when are you going to start this project? He said, words to the effect that if I get my other work done, maybe November. I said, please, this is Massachusetts. You're not going to be digging up ground in November. And she agreed. So I said, it will be a while, but that's what we did. So she thanked me.
Yeah.
So that's that story as far as we go.
Yeah, I mean, that's really all I have to add to it. I mean, Jane does have copies of the emails that I sent. I saw another email back from Mr. Sada, it might have been today, saying that he
sent it on Friday.
Okay. That
And
he
it's in the mail packet.
Okay, that he would be here and so would Mark, and, that he's had his...
And I don't know why, because I told him earlier in the week that
I know,
he wasn't coming,
I know.
and I called Mark and told him he didn't need to be there.
Yeah, and what concerned me though is that, he said, I've been before the board 3 times and I really need to move this on. And yes, he has spoken to us several times, but we've never gotten the information that we asked him to provide to us. So
And one of the times,
I don't know how much clearer we can be with
Exactly.
that.
And one of the times he came in, it was after we had adjourned the meeting, so we were very careful to
Yeah,
say
right,
to
right,
him,
right, yeah.
we've adjourned the meeting.
Yeah, he wasn't
And
technically before the board, that's right.
On that time.
That's right, that's right,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we did make him aware that when it was time to put the notice in the paper, we put it in, not him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know, it's very confusing how we get from here to the next step with him, because I do understand that he wants a decision, he wants to move on, and on the other hand, we've requested information and don't have it, and I don't feel like it would be wise to move forward with scheduling, certainly a public hearing, until we actually have all the information from him.
And I asked the zoning enforcement officer, I happened to see him walking out the other day, and I said, have you had any information? And he said, it's my understanding that he's not going to, he doesn't go to the building department to pull a building permit
Right.
until he gets other things done. I said, but I would think they'd at least be showing you plans, because you might look at them and say, this violates zoning. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
exactly.
it would be kind of silly for us to have a public hearing and then go
Yeah.
before the other vote and say, you can't, zoning-wise, you can't do this.
Yeah, I know that we had his verbal that, they said there was no review required.
Well,
but
that was information he was given wrongly.
He was actually given that, though? Did we figure out he was
yes,
told that?
That was an
Okay.
email. We had a copy. Jane had the copy of it.
Okay.
And the person, I don't want to disparage
Yeah,
anybody, wasn't
yeah.
the person just said, in my opinion. He
Okay.
took that
Oh, okay.
and ran with it.
Okay.
So,
But he would actually have to show his site plan in order to get some kind of binding.
and as I said, this is a whole new plan.
Yeah, it is.
Taking
Yes,
a
it is.
lot with one house
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
you're
and putting 5 residences.
gonna do this.
Well, 5, 6, actually.
6,
Yeah.
because supposedly that's going to be, that instead of being a 3-family will be a 2-family. But he did say condos, he called them all
Yeah,
condos.
yeah.
So I'm assuming that they're rental, but I shouldn't assume anything,
Yeah,
because and then who's going to manage them? You'd have to have an association to manage them
Right,
too.
right.
We ran into problems one time with another project because there was no condo association
Mhm.
managing it.
yeah,
We had quite a number
yeah.
of problems with
Yeah.
that. Well, more to come, and thank you, Pam,
Okay,
for all that.
all right.
So, where are our
Check
proposals?
that letter and see what date was in there. Maybe we messed up. The letter to,
Not when I dictated it.
well, let's check it and make sure that,
It is odd for them to
yeah,
just
it's
not.
just really odd.
Is there a different protocol for something like that? Somebody
Because you
cited
did write
it.
2015 here.
Oh, that's the old letter.
No, when you put it down here, this is the one, but the one, it went out, we sent one out with my signature, and we asked them, this is just here. Remember, note to Bridget, this went out with her.
Yeah.
Well,
What, I just wanted, on Monday, July 11th, okay. Based on-
5:45.
Okay, that's today.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
So, they haven't endeared themselves to me as to why they're not here.
No.
And we got the receipt, so we know they received the letter.
Correct.
This leaves me very uncomfortable.
So what happens when, if there's, if they have a registered letter and they know about the meeting and they don't show up, is there?
I'm rather surprised that they're not here
Yeah.
because
I am too.
it was a year ago they were
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I am too. And is there any possibility that you might have had a voicemail or anything saying that
No?
some emergency came up and they can't?
Unless, the mail came in and they overlooked it. I mean,
I mean, because otherwise, I feel like I don't want to speak for the whole board here, but speaking for me personally, it leaves me with the impression that,
They could care
Yeah.
less.
whatever, we don't care.
yeah,
Chicken at room town, yeah, yeah.
Well, you know what
Whatever.
bothers me, and like Bridget said, every time she goes in and has
Yes.
to they have to pay another $50 reinspection
Right.
fee. We're not talking a big place that's down in
Mhm.
Cambridge or
I know.
someplace that, and okay,
know.
they got fined, they had to throw out their product, big deal. We're talking about a small business. Most of our businesses in town are small businesses. So when you make them throw out the whole order of chicken that was there, that's a considerable amount. And it bothers
yeah.
me that we're looking at really the same things that we had. Yes, we had more last year, but a couple of those problems we had last year was that they had to take the training. We had to
Yeah.
get somebody else, and they did that, that's fine. But
do you want me to go upstairs and see if they called?
you were up there.
I was up until, 5:15, 5:20, 5:15, but
They should have been here.
Yeah.
I bet if I went over there right now, they're open.
because this isn't consistent with how they've been before.
Well,
You need to see if they left a message on the machine at the 11th hour.
I don't, they were told to be here at 5:45. I don't see some emergency that they're not here, because somebody could come down. I don't-
It's hard to believe that absolutely no one can come when you're called before the Board of Health for critical violations. It's very hard for me to believe.
Right. And again, some of the same violations, and we're talking about summertime, it's hot,
Yep.
and just the thought of food staying out is too much for me.
What are our options?
And I said to Bridget, and she said, if things don't improve, I will go over there 5 days a week if I have to. Because I said, well, I know it's hard, you cover 16 towns. She said, oh, no. I'll tell you right now, I will find it if they do not improve. And I go over there 5 days a week. That's going to cost them money every time I go. But I will do it if this board wants me to. So I'm really ticked off. They can't care very much
yes.
about their business.
Yes.
That they're not here.
So let her, if she said she could do that, let her do it. Because every time she goes over there, they're gonna get a $50.
I would suggest that we ask her if she can begin doing that tomorrow.
ASAP.
I think she's on vacation.
Is she?
Or if
No, I don't. She didn't say she was. She was talking about
Because she couldn't be here.
having to do something tomorrow, a follow-up on something else, and then attending something else. She was talking about 2 or 3 things
Yeah.
this
Okay.
week. Yeah.
Or even if she can't, perhaps.
Oh, Kayleen would
Yeah,
do it anyway.
yeah,
Yeah.
her backup
There is a
at
small group
Neshoba.
of people that do this, it's not
Oh,
just
yeah.
Bridget.
Right,
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
yes,
But,
yes.
you know, when you
Yeah, they
have
have
the same
backups.
thing,
They have
food at
backups, yeah.
room temperature, that was the big thing, it was there that
Mhm.
last year. Keep all food products in coolers covered.
Yep,
Wiping cloths and sanitizing solution there, that's common sense.
yeah,
And this
And-
week is gonna be 90s.
Oh, well, it
Yes.
was humid
Yeah.
all last week.
yeah. And I don't know if they're reading or not reading the small print, but this is very clear that failure to correct violations may result in suspension or revocation of the
Mhm.
food establishment permit. It's not their right to have a permit
That's
to
right.
serve food. It's a
That's right.
privilege. And it's under a permit that's granted to them with the understanding that they're going to do the right things to protect public health. And these violations, year after year, followed up by blowing off the request by the Board of Health to come before them.
Mhm.
So, this board, has this ever happened before where the people were no-show? What was the next step?
No, we never had
Never
anybody.
had that.
We had a case with another establishment that we were having sort of the same problems.
Mhm.
The same problems every time they went, not as
Mhm.
many as this. And we had them come, and then it turned out that the corporate people from, I don't remember if it was Illinois or Indiana, but they came in, they were here.
Mm-hmm.
They said, everything we said, you made absolute sense.
Is our
And
door
they-
locked? Because I
No.
just saw somebody
No,
walking down.
Jane, no.
Okay,
I don't think so.
So
right.
after we had the corporate people here, we've had none of those severe problems
Yeah.
with that
Yeah, I know
place.
what you mean.
So I'm not happy with this, so I think Jane tomorrow morning,
Mhm.
and like I said, I did hear Bridget say she had some hours out of the office are going to be late, but she did not say that she wouldn't be in.
Okay.
And whatever she can do to start this, just let her know that
I'll let her know. So I'm gonna let her know.
nobody showed up.
That nobody showed up, so if she wants to go in there every day,
Whatever that the
Okay.
process she needs to start, to please do it, because I don't like this
okay.
at all. At all, at all.
So that's the process, is that's, you turn it back over to Bridget when she decides.
She can
Yeah, is
follow
that
up on
the,
that.
I'm not sure on that either. Is that, so does it then become Neshoba's purview to
because
decide what,
No, she had told me, you
okay,
know, because I said, well, I know it's hard, you cover
Yeah.
16 communities. She said, oh, no.
yeah, yeah,
No, we can do that every day. You know, if we don't have an improvement, well, we don't know if there's an improvement because they blew
I
off
know.
the meeting when they're
I know.
told to be here, so.
Should we think about a contingency plan if she goes in there tomorrow and it's the same?
Well, I
It's
think,
gonna be 2 weeks of,
Who
I-
decides that?
I think though, under the, and there is stuff under the law too as to how long you can close a place, because you can get into then all kinds of things where
I
they
know.
call your lawyer and this.
I know.
So we'll
I
let
know.
her start and follow up from there. How does that sound?
Okay,
But that's a good point, Pam, there should be some kind of guidelines, this might happen again.
yeah. Because
Unless- yeah.
I think it's a real minefield, because I can see some legal ramifications
That's
as
what I
well
mean,
if somebody
right,
gets food
right.
poisoning from this place and then digs into
Mhm.
their history.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we're on notice as to
Well, that's
what's
why
going
I
on
think we
over
have
there.
to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
careful.
Just make right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, just make sure that she understands that we need to we gotta do something.
I think so.
Yeah, I think she will understand. That's true. I know
I mean,
Bridget.
she
Yeah.
had,
Yeah.
she had written that she would go back in 4 weeks. However, I think the fact that they didn't even show up tonight says she needs to go back.
So if she went
I'm
in
astonished.
there tomorrow morning and it looked like this, could she get a little hammer and nail and that's it, close them down? Or do they-
That's
is
what
there
I'm
another
saying.
step?
There are legal things that, and if you try to, remember, this is a business and it's got employees and all that. That's why I think there's laws though as to, I know what your heart is telling you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mine's probably telling me the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
But when you look on the other one, because I asked her about that once, and she said you have to be very careful on that. They could get a lawyer, we could be tied up,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
forever in that.
Yeah. And I have a feeling that Neshoba, with all the towns they cover, have probably come across something similar. So
I
they
think once
should
we
know
did
what the-
close a place for a couple of days,
Yeah.
but anyway, we'll
Yeah.
follow up. Jane will
Yeah,
do this, and then
I'll call Bridget tomorrow.
Yeah.
and it might be that tomorrow is the day that she's coming in a little late. I think she had an appointment, but you can email her
Okay.
anyway, and we'll follow up with that.
It's really surprising.
It really
That's your
is.
business.
I know.
It's very odd, because this isn't consistent with what's happened before.
Well,
Right.
Closed on Monday? Some restaurants are closed on
no,
Monday.
they've been
Yeah,
here
but
on the
even if-
Monday before.
Okay.
Even if they are, yeah, you'd still get somebody here. That might make it easier to get somebody here in a way.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so there's that, they didn't show up, okay. Show. Pam gave us, we did the minutes, Pam gave us that update on that. The mail, there's really nothing, there was just the one inspection that she did over at Shaker.
Any bills?
Bills, no,
Bills, yeah.
no.
Are you just
So lucky.
planning very far in ahead here by looking at September
I
12th
know,
meeting?
instead of
Or
That-
it was
What? Did I say September?
action items for September 12th, where it's,
Oh.
you want to make sure
I'm
you're
out of my
prepared
head.
far in
I
advance.
think it's the 22nd of
I
August.
don't know. I
Well,
don't know.
yes, it's, if we
How
meet
odd.
the 8th, and
It's-
then we would meet the 22nd.
I'm so infallible, I can't believe I did such.
I know, it's shocking.
It's really
So it
shocking.
would be,
Oh.
August 8th, right? So our next one?
yes, and then it
Yeah.
would be the 22nd.
22nd.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will not be
22nd.
here August 8th, so.
On August 8th, got it.
I will just be getting back the 22nd, coming back that day, so that works.
But you'll be here the 8th.
I will be here
Yeah.
the 8th, I don't leave until the 11th.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we were talking to on maybe coming up, and that could be something for the fall to work on, the check sheet that you were talking about.
Yeah.
The special permit,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, I think we do need to make it clear what constitutes an application and when is it submitted. And kind of like, I think what would be a good thing to do with that too would be, like with the trash hauler application, we put something in the regulation, and it might be on the form as well, that says, that if your application is incomplete, it's not considered submitted until it's complete, until we have everything that we need, because I think
There's
that
a guy
can.
that's walking around outside.
Like, he's not sure which way to get in here?
Let me just.
Jane, the door is open, please sit down.
Okay, all right.
We've got these Pokemon kids.
Oh, right.
That's it.
Please.
That's right.
That's crazy.
So anyway,
Silly me,
Oh,
I'm
gosh.
sorry.
I will revive the the stuff that I did on that before and
Yeah.
kind of look at what we could do to,
Well, I think that we don't want to revise the whole thing, but we want to.
just try to make kind of a clean cut application form so that someone knows what they're actually, they have a little check off thing that they can submit.
It's probably the first one that we've had a problem, because if you remember when we did Vitasoy,
Yeah.
we
Yep.
didn't have that one.
No, and even when we've done, I know Vitasoy was commercial and, sometimes they have different companies, but when we did the residential on 4th Street, we got everything that we needed.
We had no
So,
problem. They came in and said,
Yeah.
how do we do this? We told them what they,
Yeah. And then if we've done, a slew of smaller, deck extensions and whatnot, and those have always been pretty straightforward, but I think this is a weird combination because it's a pretty big plan. And
we're assuming, or he's assuming that, yes, he can do it.
well, his email did concern me when he said, I have met all of the Board of Health requirements. And I'm thinking, you haven't even submitted the information I've requested of you several times.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
it's like there's a mental mismatch here.
And for anybody that's listening to this, because you ask for a special permit
Right.
in any department doesn't mean you're getting it.
That's right, exactly.
And I think that that's his perception,
Yeah,
is I'm applying and you
Mhm.
have to give it to me.
right,
Actually, we don't.
right.
So,
That's right.
and I don't think you have, so we're not gonna, I'm not gonna get myself concerned about that.
I wouldn't,
We don't have any further quarterly meetings.
no, next RAB meeting is September.
That's fine.
Although I have to look at the date because I think it's gonna fall during that week that I'm in Liechtenstein. So somebody might, I know, of all places. It's just fun to say. It's like, so somebody might have to go to that one.
Well, I'm sure that
Or I could email,
Julie and
Yeah,
Laurie
yeah,
usually go.
exactly.
One of them would be happy to give us
Yes.
whatever
Yes, I
information.
could-
So I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, okay.
And then by the time the end of August comes, the trash haulers should have had to send in that report to Mark Wetzel.
Yes, that actually is another thing, as long as I had Mark on the phone, I mentioned to him that they are due into him by August 1st. And I had just also mentioned to him that probably you, Jane, and the admin for DPW are going to have to work together so that we know what reports have come in,
Yeah.
because, then we can.
I've got to give them a list
Yeah.
of who to expect too.
Yeah,
So get
yeah.
And I
that's
haven't,
the
and I've
easiest
done
thing.
that.
That's
Yeah,
the
get
easiest
them-
thing. Just get that over, and then
Yeah.
let him take it. They're required to send it
Yeah.
to him, and they know it because it was on their application.
Yeah, and
And
it's
also,
right
I
in the
sent
red.
out
so.
last week or 2 weeks ago, I sent out a reminder letter.
Okay, good.
So-
So they should receive.
Along with the form, your form.
Okay, great.
So
Okay, cool.
they have it.
So,
Yeah, and it was a pretty simple form,
Mhm.
once we
yes.
we really
Yes.
narrowed it down, so.
So, anything else that you can think of? I can't.
I do not have anything
You,
else.
Pat?
No, I'm just appalled at that
Well,
rock and roll thing.
Me too. Me too. But when Mary is on something, it's like a dog on bone. She's not gonna let this go.
no,
I know you won't,
no.
nor should you.
No.
Not with this heat.
No,
No.
no,
Well-
absolutely not. It's,
To anything.
To anything, right, but I mean, especially when it's warm like this, the slightest temperature change can really,
I was in a supermarket once, and I saw a couple of things of lettuce and stuff roll off the counter, so I watched. Kid picked it up and put it back. I went over and I tapped him on the shoulder. And I said, that was on the floor, throw it out. And he looked at me, and we had a stare down contest. And I said to him, I'm on the Board of Health. That's true. I didn't lie to him. I'm not, it wasn't on the Board of Health in that community. I am on the Board of Health.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
not give off any
Yeah.
false information.
Yeah.
So he did. He did throw it out, and I stood and waited.
Oh, when you're in full stare down mode, Mary, you're scary.
So
You're very
anyway,
effective.
so, hey,
Yeah, I know.
so
You can't fool around with it.
so we'll follow through and
You want me to write them a letter?
what?
Walk and roll?
No, we're going to go through Bridget.
Yeah, I think we have to
We're
default
not. We're
to
not
them
sending
now.
anybody any more letters. We
Okay.
go
Yeah.
out of our way to be.
All right.
These are adults. You've
Yeah.
got business. You want to keep it. You do what you have to do to keep it.
If you care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
that's the problem.
All right.
Okay.
Then. So nothing else special. We can.
No, then I will make a motion that we adjourn the
Okay.
meeting this evening.
I second.
Okay. Motion was made and seconded to adjourn at 6. Oh, I'll call it 6:18. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.